All right, town hall number 5, Fund3, town hall 5. Welcome to the experiment. If you haven't noticed, things can break like documentation, differ greatly between iterations, disorient, overload, and inspire. And we're here to give you a safe and lively environment, actually to give us, like, we're all doing it together. Every single one of us with our behavior and our actions, we're creating this environment of safety, livelihood, to enable you, actually to enable each other to explore the highest potential of human collaboration. I chose a very simple, nice image of a flock today, because we're seeing now, I think with the assessment stage, we're seeing the beauty of decentralized collaboration, of how you have proposers and you have implementers and you have community advisors and you have voters and many other roles that we didn't find a name for yet, that are, each one does a specific job, a specific thing that they're asked to do, but together it forms complex, coordinated behavior that is beautiful and amazing and serves everybody, like similar to a flock. How a bird, it follows a pretty simple pattern, but when you look at the big picture, you see this like amazing, management of aerodynamics, for example, for efficiency. So I want to start with a big thank you to a new entity that was formed in the last few days called the Community Advisor Council. And this is a mini experiment that we launched last week. And basically the idea is, well, we know we have a lot of people who really care deeply about this project, and definitely lots of veteran community advisors who care deeply. And we wanted to see, like, if we give a pretty complex task to them and just like throw it in their direction, what would happen? So we did. So we asked them to basically rewrite the community advisor guidelines for Fund2 that were very, I would say, like, there was just like a kind of like a draft and something that could be improved, and they did, and they rewrote it and made it much better. Not only that, but they're currently defining and prototyping a whole new iteration of how we're going to raise up our standards for reviews and also reports in a transparent and fair way when community advisor reviews are below our high standards, and we're gonna prototype it together. We're gonna try this for Fund3, a new method. So I really want to thank all the people that started that Telegram for the community advisor Telegram, and created these documents and coordinated and have an amazing outcome that we're going to enjoy in Fund3. We're going to have a much better community advisor guidance and flow this time. So let's talk about finalization stage. So far, we had 5 proposals withdrawn, and I think that leaves us with 183 proposals on the ballot. I'm sure, I think in about an hour, the edits are gonna get locked, and that's like the end for, and I imagine there will be a few more proposals that will be withdrawn by that time, and I want to really thank deeply for any proposing team who withdraw their proposal, like, that we really appreciate you. So we appreciate you for being serious, for being real, for being responsible. to help us manage the attention of our community and our advisors and our voters only on proposals that are serious and willing to go all the way. So, thank you for having the courage to do that and for being a responsible part of our community. We see, basically, you can really see that we pretty much doubled our numbers since Fund 2. So while we had 672 registered community advisors, the current number is 1,272 registered community advisors with registration closing in 1 hour. Basically doubling our number of members on ID scale. We got to the 6,000 members. That's, it's like blows my mind. I just it's weird to say, okay, it's there's staggering numbers. And even in our announcement telegram, we a bit more than doubled the numbers of people that are really tuning in and just keeping track of everything that's going on. And if you can even share the announcement telegram hyperlink for those who are new, this is a great place to get notified when things happen. And also, as you know, we saw this week pretty substantial rise in the ADA valuation, that is compared to the dollar, and so now the current holdings in Treasury is around $121 million. Isn't that amazing? So now we are starting the assessment stage. One of the more complex and critical parts of the entire innovation phase. So we basically, proposals are finalized. Now it's time for members of our community, the community advisors, to go and review the proposals. They have 1 week to do so. And after that, we're adding this we're doing this experimental stage. It's called the assessing assessment, so reviewing the reviewers. We're giving a chance for proposers. So we're going to expose all the reviews and the rationale given. We're going to publish some sort of CSV file that contains all that, and we're going to give people a chance to flag assessments that you think are substandards, that you think were not made seriously, or it's very obvious that the person who made them didn't even read the proposal. Basically, kind of a quality assurance, okay, and a chance for you proposers to help improve the process and have more fair reviews towards you. And all those reviews that will be flagged are actually going to be reviewed by veteran community advisors and will not be part of the final assessment. Okay, so we're leveling up our defenses, our moats for collective intelligence, raising our standards. So what are these goals of community advisors? Pretty simple. Improve the decision-making capabilities of the funds. Basically, improve the impact of what is generated, the ROI that is generated by giving voters advice and help them make good choices about which proposals we should prioritize for funding this coming round. And the second and equally important one is it's about helping proposers understand how to improve. So unlike other systems, like other, let's say like if you submit a government RFP, right, or if you apply for a grant, it's a very alienating process. It's a very hierarchical process where you submit and then you get a response, yes or no. But this is not, we're thinking about the long game. We are building a community of proposers, and we're working with you every funding round to improve you, to give you more feedback, to give you more information, to help you improve as being proposers, to nurture you. And this is what the community advisors are here for, to help you improve. Not just they're not gatekeepers. Okay, they're advisors, they're helpers. And I think for you, the community advisor, I want to say that you get what you ask for. Okay, so you are the future of Catalyst, the future of decision making is in your hands. And by putting this core, by putting this rationale, we, the Cardano community, we define what's our standards. And we define and we send a strong message to future proposers about what is expected. So if you say what you want, like if you say no to substandard proposals or to proposals that don't fit the challenge, or when there is lack of documentation or feasibility or seriousness, then you're sending a strong signal for future proposers, that they're not gonna get funded if they do it like that. If you are going to accept that, then you're sending the exact opposite, and you'll get more of that. Okay, so really think when you're looking at those proposals, it's like, do you want more proposals like that? Made in that mindset, made in that level of proficiency, level of seriousness, level of innovation, or you don't, because it's really it's really about you managing to articulate, what do we want? Okay, what do we want for this treasury? What do we want for this catalyst to be? So this is gonna start probably today in a few hours. We need to modify a few settings in ID scale and launch this. We're gonna do our best to start it today. And we'll let you know. Then once we start, the advisor will have 1 week to submit the reviews, and we're also going to turn back comments back on, because now that the proposals have been finalized, it's we're changing the mindset. It's no longer it's about like gathering feedback and improving the proposal and like making sure we have the best proposal up for the ballot, but now it's campaign time. Okay, now it's time for voters to come and ask questions to proposers to help and to assist them to make the best decisions. So it's more like, so the comment section in this case, it's now becomes more like a Q&A with the proposers, between voters and proposers. So for you new community advisors, we are, the advisor identity is anonymous, okay? So when you submit, like people can't, won't be able to tell the personal details of those submitting their reviews. I do have to say that while we managed to do so, like I think in Fund 1 and Fund 2, we managed to maintain the anonymity. I cannot 100% guarantee it. It's because we're still in experimental mode. We're still depending on ID Scale, the third-party application. There's always a chance that the identity will be revealed, now or somewhere down the line. So just be ready for this. Okay, we cannot guarantee anonymity. So far we managed to maintain it, and I don't see a reason why we won't manage to maintain it, but everything can happen. Okay, so don't don't put anything in their reviews that will compromise you or something like that. Okay. Also note that because we're still in an experimental mode, we're keeping a record of all reviews and reviewers. So this is not exposed publicly, but over time, as we're getting the funds, we're starting to prototype an early reputation system. Okay, so we can see at some point we will be able to look backwards at a specific advisor and determine, okay, is he a veteran advisor, or is just like created an account just for this round? Does he have a record of high quality reviews, or has he been reported multiple times for low standards? Okay, so while we're not doing anything about that, this reputation system for now, we have planted the seed and we're planning the infrastructure for it. So this is also a call for you to really play the long game. Okay, so if you really see this as something you want to do in the long term and want to maintain good reputation, really think about, be careful and serious about the reviews you make. So how do you actually assess? So we co-wrote together with the community council, the community advisor council, this community advisor guidelines. I think they're really much nicer and cleaner now, and this is a must. If you're starting to assess proposals without first reading top to bottom this document, there's a big risk that your reputation will be tarnished, that you won't be eligible for rewards, maybe your work won't be even accounted for. You really need to read this and get into the details. This is not this is not like being this is like a serious matter, and I'm sure over time also we're going to create more and more like training modules for community advisors. But we're starting with this guide. So take it seriously. Secondly, we established a hub in case there's any questions or clarifications, or you want to improve the process, or you want to consult your fellow advisors as you're trying to assess something. Any sort of ambiguity for you as a community advisor and support, join this Telegram channel. We have veteran community advisors there to assist you. Also, I'll be hanging out there probably. So before you go and assess, you really have to read the challenge brief for the proposals you review. So in ID scale, every proposal is under this category of a challenge, and there's a specific webpage that includes the details of the challenge, like what metrics are we measuring, how success looks like. And we review proposals in ability. So each one of those needs to have a rationale and including of your considerations. If you're not including your considerations and rationale, we're going to flag you, and we're going to remove the assessment from consideration, and you will not be eligible for rewards. And then once you articulate your considerations, you add a score, a numerical score in a ranking of 1 to 5. I will talk a bit more about this later. So later is now, okay? So here's the three criteria, okay? The first one is impact. And basically what we're asking you to agree or disagree with is the question, does this proposal effectively address the challenge? So let's take an example. One of our challenges is the dApp creation challenge. And so the question of that challenge is like, what dApps should we build to drive user adoption? And we also define metrics, like what's the ROI for this return on intention for this challenge? Like, does it give daily active users? Would this dApp, if it had its own local token, like its own like unique token, like how much activity, volume would they have? Basically, like what's the utility of it? how many transactions were made that are would associate with this decentralized app, and also the like how much funds are actually transacted there. So not just like so it's like quality and quantity of the transactions that are made. And so when you read a proposal, you can ask yourself, okay, from what I understand from this proposal, are these metrics gonna be moved? Is it going to produce the results that are relevant to this challenge? Yes or no? There's a really important consideration about the readiness of the technology, because if someone is making a proposal for a DApp, and in his plan he lives in a fantasy world where everything is, all the technology and all the infrastructure is completely ready and complete, and then of course it's the relevant experience of the proposer. If there's a team or individual proposer, so for example, in many startup incubators, the thing it's like if a proposer actually didn't manage to convince a technical co-founder to join, or more committed people to join the team, then why should you be convinced to fund him? Okay, and usually like the likelihood of success in committed teams is higher than an individual. If it's just in a sense, there's a definition of success. Is there a clear understand the description of the problem and the solution? Have the proposer discusses, addresses challenges and risks that might be associated to his project? Does he have a backup plan? Once these reviews are provided, at the end of this week, this is what's going to happen. So we're going to remove all the blank reviews. We're going to give the proposers and general community a chance to flag substandard reviews. So we'll be published this some kind of a CSV that people can flag, and then veteran community advisors will discuss the flagged average review score, but also can voters. So here's how the model is. Okay, so let's say we have two proposals, and one proposal got 4 reviews, one proposal got 2 reviews, and now we start a lottery. So we're gonna choose 3 reviews that first 2 reviews. So we talked about it. Okay, so unfair, unthoughtful, blank reviews will not only take you out of the competition, like it's not only you out of the lottery for this particular review, but taking you out of the lottery for all your other reviews. Okay, so be really careful when you submit the reviews. Like it only takes one blank review or one super bad, super like unthoughtful review to undermine all the rewards you might be eligible for. So really be careful about that. We actually had a few people in Fund2 that gave lots and lots of reviews, but then because they made some like honest mistake, didn't notice some element of the UI, they left one blank review, and now they became, because of that, they became non-eligible and they didn't receive rewards. So just be careful. We're in conversation with those particular people because, just because they overlooked one thing doesn't, it's not fair that they don't get compensated, but you understand the principle. So how much would you get? Okay, so the fund is we have a Fund3 is $500K, 5% is $25,000. If you're like the only advisor that's going to get reviews, you're going to get $25,000. Congratulations. Sorry, the calculation here for the minimum is out of date, but I think it's probably around. It shouldn't be that much different, okay? But because we're only giving 3 rewards, we don't know the exact number of proposals yet because we still need to filter out some of them, but something around that figure, okay, plus minus $20 will be the minimum. Also notice that Fund 2 only had 37 eligible advisors. Okay, so just as a reference, curious to see how many eligible advisors will be in Fund 3. So in terms of your chances of winning, so if you review a proposal that had very few reviews, you are 100% likely to get rewarded on that particular proposal. If a proposal has been reviewed 10,000 times, you only have like 0.1%. And if you submitted a low quality review or a blank review, it's 0% for this review and all other reviews you've submitted in Fund 3. And the payment will be sent along with all the other incentives and proposer rewards at the funding stage at the end of Fund 3. So just wanted to finish, just to talk about for proposers and voters, discussion has started, campaigning has started.